And we are done. This is the last chapter. We are discussing about speech writing for English 4. Okay, so, and this is called the graph of strategy. What is this? And the main objective to accomplish this is to structure your speech around a strong main points and supporting points. The graph of strategy, and I like this one. This is a summary of Sun Tzu from The Art of War. Says there are five fundamental factors which determine the results of a war: the politics, the weather, the terrain, the commander, and the doctrine. The graph of strategy is a model based on 4 steps. The first 3 steps are about preparing the stage. In the previous chapter, talk about the preparing the stage. And the final step is about the implementation of your plan. Okay? So, let's start with the first step, external, and this is the external context. You start by looking at our speaker and organization from an external perspective, not from the internal perspective. Okay? Harold Macmillan called these events. They determine the success or failure of any communication strategy. Remember, from the external perspective. Second step, setting internal communication priorities. There are 4 essential elements to a communication plan. Number 1 is the message. Top-level slogans are usually short and simple in order to understand them. Audience. You have to be very careful and research for the audience. What type of audience? So you power, the influence, trust, and the involvement you as an orator with the audience. Timing, when to start and when to finish. Channels, those are the arguments. Leadership, talk about the channels. And vision, ideas, opinions, where speeches have unique advantages over other channels in their capacity to present new arguments, demonstrate strong leadership, set out visions, trail ideas, and search for limited groups of opinion formers with a relatively informal setting. So we say message, remember, timing, audience, and channel. Step 3, developing a speech program. So create, that clear idea of what's coming up next. Develop a program based on just 2 or 3 things, no more. And find audiences that matches the message and also the purpose. And we might also pick venues that support our message. And we should weigh up the pros and cons of addressing someone else's conference or hosting our own tailor-made event. Step 4, implementation. Here, the speaker might check the speech in advance before presenting. The best result is when the strategy returns to the orator with lots of scribbles and scrolls. So you have this opportunity to check and to change, bits to cut, bits to replace, and bits to remove, remember. And the worst outcome is when the strategy is a will. We need to avoid the risks of very quick. And finally, the strategy